the second C is collaboration. Collaborate with other academics. Again, you're not doing that just to get more citations. You're doing that for lots of other reasons too. First of all, because I think it makes doing research much more fun and rewarding. But also, working with other people usually leads to better quality research because you look for academics with complementary skills to your own. You might be good at theory development, but not so good at doing empirical research, or vice versa. You might miss particular data analytical skills that a co-author might bring in. Or you or a co-author might be better at writing the broader implications section of the paper. Co-authorship, I find, also helps to iteratively improve and polish the paper, because you always have someone to read your paper critically. And of course you can ask your colleagues who are not co-authors to read the paper, but a co-author always has more motivation to read your paper critically than a colleague who is not involved. Moreover, if you do work with others on a project, there is more motivation to finish the product. You can always tell yourself, I'll just leave this paper. There are other more important or urgent things to do. But if you get emails in your inbox and your co-author is saying, I've done my bit on the paper, you promised you would do your bit, it's much harder to say no than when you've just been working on a paper on your own. So there are lots of intrinsic reasons to collaborate, but another good reason is that co-authored papers generally do get to be cited much more than single-authored paper. Again, that's not always true, there are always exceptions, but on average, co-authored papers are cited much more. And there are at least two reasons for this. First of all, each of the authors has their own social network, so they can spread it amongst their network. And some of that network will obviously overlap with yours, but some of that network will be unique to your co-author. So if you have 3 co-authors, you might have at least twice the size of the network. If you have 5 authors, you might have 3 or 4 times the size of the network. And if you work in particle physics and you have 500 co-authors on one paper, as a few papers do, then you probably have at least 50 times the size of the networks, which makes quite a difference, and it makes sharing the load and communicating about your paper much easier. Second, don't forget that your co-authors will also generally cite you in other projects as well, because in doing so they're citing their own paper as well. You're not generally doing all of your work with the same co-authors, so these co-authors might be working in related projects in which they are likely to cite the paper you've done together. Of course, only if it's relevant to the new project, because they do know the work very well and they're familiar with it. Now, the same collaboration benefit is also true for external impact. Collaboration with external stakeholders outside academia leads to better and more relevant research, but it also leads to a better chance that the research will have societal impact.